Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm working on this carburetor for the John Deere. Got a 22 horsepower Briggs and Stratton V10, and what I noticed is these little jets in here. They have little bitty O-rings in them. These O-rings right there. There's two of them. They go in there. I got this piece. It replaces this piece. I've already taken that out. And it also has a little bit bigger one. The bigger one right here, it goes on this piece here. And then the big O-ring, it goes around this right here. But anyway, I didn't really need a complete carburetor kit, so I got the O-ring kit, is what it's called. So I'm going to replace these today. Try to see if I can show you how to do this. I'm not real good at this anyway, but if I can get these out of there. Okay, here we go. Now that little tiny O-ring right there, I don't know if you can see it very well, but anyway, that tiny O-ring right there needs to come off because these are really easy in there. Now some people will tell you not to get these confused because one's bigger than the other, and it is, but I don't know. They do have numbers on them, and it's really difficult to see them. If you have a magnifying glass, you can see them. You can see the numbers. I don't think you'd be able to see the numbers with my camera. But anyway, they have numbers on them, and that was 114. This is 117, and the bigger one goes to the left. And if you get confused on which one's right and left, it also says on the carburetor itself, it's got a left here and a right over there. And this piece, it only goes on one way, and it goes on like so. Oops, I got it upside down. It goes this way, so it can only go on one way. But anyway, if you just do one at a time, that makes life easier for you. Okay, now that one, it broke. I don't know if you can see it, but it broke when it came off. But anyway, the jet was loose in that plastic piece, and that's what those O-rings are for, is to make them snug so air won't get past them, and so the gas will have to go directly through the jet itself rather than bypassing the jet, which I really don't know what I'm talking about. So you just have to take whatever I say with a grain of salt and try to find out the truth for yourself. But anyway, I'm just going by what other folks have said, and I'm trying to put this on here now, and it went on just fine. I can almost see the number on that, so I'm going to get my magnifying glass and see if I can tell for sure what that is. Here's my magnifying glass, and I don't know, I can't really tell. It looks like three ones, but I can't really tell. It might be 117. I can't really tell. I think I need a stronger magnifying glass or something. Well, it could be a 117. I'm not sure. The bigger one's supposed to go on the left, so that would mean I have it backwards as it is anyway. Let me see. Let me take another look at this. Yeah, the big one's supposed to be on the left side. I'm going to take a look at this again. The thing was running fairly well. I don't know, it looks like a 111. I'm gonna go ahead and put this back in there. I'm gonna use a screwdriver to push it down in there. Come on, get back in there. It don't want to go back down in there. Come on. There it goes. Come on. Let me try it this way. I might be able to get it centered up a little better with this piece. I don't want to do it either. I'm gonna try something else and put some WD-40 and maybe that'll make it slide in easier. Man, that just does not want to go down in there. Oh. I don't know. I'm kind of confused now. I don't understand why that's not going down in there. The other, it popped right out before, and as you could tell, it broke off in pieces. So I'm not sure. And it's round. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't need to go in there very far. I don't know if you can see it very well. Here, I'll try putting some light on it. Maybe that would help. I don't know. See, it's supposed to go right down into that hole right there. I know it's hard to see. But anyway, I mean, there it is. It, as you could tell, it came out fairly easily, but for some reason it doesn't want to go back in there like that. Oh gosh, I don't know why I just don't want to go in there. Well, the other one seems like it's staying in okay, so I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm going to put the new gasket, the one that looks like this, I'm going to put this, that's the old one there. I'm going to put the new one in place. This right here, this goes on this piece here. Good grief. gosh. Well, that's going to be one tight fitting O-ring, which I suppose that's what it's supposed to do. Yeah. It's kind of difficult to get that on there. I'm going to try putting some WD-40 on this to see if that O-ring will go on a little easier. Oh man, that thing just does not want to go on there. Well, oh. My goodness. That thing's even tapered, so it should go on easy, but it doesn't want to. Oh gosh, that thing just does not want to go on there, which is good because it'll be nice and tight, but I don't understand why it's so difficult. The old one came off without any problems. The original one that I took off anyway, which I don't know if it was really the original or not, but it was flattened out and oval shaped, and it just fell off. This one right here, that was a generic. This one was a generic O-ring, but it was supposed to be intended for gas, but it swelled up some, so I don't know. Okay, I think I've got it going down. Gee. Well, finally we got it in place. Whew, man. Okay. So, now then, I'm going to take get the new one right here, this piece, and it goes just like this over that, just slides right over it, and then this piece, it bolts onto that. Oops, I got it backwards again. Okay, that's the way that's supposed to go. I've got two little screws here that go on either side of that thing. Phew. I hate dropping these things. I have a difficult time with that sometimes. But anyway, so what I'm going to do, go ahead and put this piece back in. Okay, now remember, when you're screwing into this stuff, it's just aluminum, so you don't want to get too crazy with over tightening it and stripping threads and stuff like that. I'm going to try this again on this side. And the WD-40, it won't hurt anything. It kind of works as a lubricant and a cleaner and water dispersant. just has a lot of different applications, really. Oh, look at that. It finally went. Well, no, it didn't either. Doggone it. Well, the thing is, this goes in there, and this piece will hold that piece all together. It goes inside the fuel bowl, which is this piece right here. It runs down into that, like so. Here, let me put some light on it. Maybe that'll help. I don't know. That's what it looks like. And at the very bottom, that centerpiece, that's this valve right here. I marked it positive because when I was testing it, bench testing it, I wanted to make sure I had the positive and negative correct. And it works fine. And what that's supposed to do is keep it from backfiring when you shut the engine off. But anyway, I'm going to try putting this thing back together and see what happens from there. I need to take this O-ring out. This wasn't leaking, but I'm figuring since I've got them, I should go ahead and replace them. But there we go, that. And then this one. It just goes in place like so. And then when I put this on and tighten it down, oh boy. Oh, here's my screws for this. Now if you look at that very closely, it's got a big cut in it. And what happened, the Phillips wasn't working very well, and the regular head, flathead, wasn't working very well, so I cut that slot in it, and so I could use a regular screwdriver in it. Hopefully you can see it. I don't know, I can't make that thing focus. There, it's a little better. But anyway, I used a cutoff wheel to cut the slot in it so I could use a regular screwdriver in it without any problem. Now you see on this one, it has that slot as well, but this one came from the factory that way. The problem was it was so ate up, I couldn't get a screwdriver to fit right. But after I cut it, it works fine. So now what I'm going to do is, since I got everything pretty much the way I want it, I'm going to put this on, tighten it down, and hopefully put it back on the vehicle. And it'll run just great. That's what I'm hoping for anyway. That goes, see, this goes towards the engine, and this needs to go away from the engine, which would be this way. Okay, there we go. So we've got somebody would probably say I'm doing this wrong, and that would not surprise me in the least if I am, but I really don't want to try to force that thing because I don't want to break that plastic piece that the jet goes into or anything of that nature. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to go ahead and tighten this down, and that plastic piece will hold that jet in place since it's already in the correct orientation as it should be. Okay, that should do it right there. Nice and tight. Yeah, I've got this, like I said, I got that other O-ring, but the other piece didn't want to come out, so I'm not going to fight it. If it's going to fight me, especially trying to go back together, I'm not going to mess with it. But I did get this one changed and that one changed. And like an idiot, I forgot to put the needle valve back in. This is a good reason why not to do things the way I do. So I'll just take this apart and hopefully do it the right way. I was thinking about that, but just slipped my mind. I'll be glad when I get this thing finished. After I get this carburetor back on there, I'm going to start it up and run it for a while. But I really need to check out the blade spindles, the spindles themselves, the blades. Probably have to sharpen the blades if they're in good enough shape to sharpen. One thing I'd like to make people be aware of is if the blades are bent, don't try straightening them. Just don't try to straighten them. Just go ahead and replace them. Because if you try to straighten them, what can happen is you can put a crack in it, and then you hit something solid, and the blade just comes apart in pieces, and it can hurt or kill somebody easily. So if you got a bent blade, don't try to straighten it. Just replace it and go on. That's the safest thing to do. I'm trying to figure this out. That goes against the edge and this goes against the outside. Wait a minute, let me check and make sure. Okay, now everything seems to be lined up okay. So, man, I just wish that thing would go down in there, but well, I'll be darned. It went down in there. Huh. Just dumb luck, I guess. Okay. Put this back on like so. Got that screw started. Got this one started. What I'd like to do is build me a go-kart with a 2-cylinder engine like this. And what I would do in a case like that is I would take out the jets, drill them out slightly, and I'm talking, when I say slightly, maybe 3 or 4 thousandths each, and then run it. And I would run dual exhaust instead of a single exhaust.
Sandwiches, or do you want something more and not go up there?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Which?